Alright guys, welcome to this section. In this section, we're going to be solving the problem of the hashtag generator. So this is a problem here. There's a problem here. It says, the marketing team is spending way too much time typing in hashtag. Let's help them with our own hashtag generator. So now this is the description of this is the description of what we're doing. Sure, it must start with a hashtag. All words must have their first letter capitalized. If the final result is longer than 140 shares, it must return false. If the input or the result is an empty string, it must return false. Alright, so to solve this problem, this is the criteria, this is the test is to pass. Our solution is going to pass all these tests here. Okay, so let's get right into it. So I'm going to pull up my code editor. I want to do it here so that it can be bolder. I'll write my code over here. So first I'll get this function. And put that. Okay, so there we go. So we're ready to solve this problem. Okay, so it says the first is that it must start with an hashtag. So all words must have all words must have their first letter capitalized. Then it says if the final result is longer than 140 characters, it must return false. If the input or the result is an empty string, it must return false. So the first thing we want to do is to take care of this last condition here. Let's take care of this last condition, which is easy to go with. So the last condition there is so it says so just say if str is equal to, let's use the week, then just say return false. Return false. So if it's an empty string, it should return false. So we're taking care of this last condition. Then it says that if the result is longer than 140 shares, it must return false. So okay. So the functions here, I'm going to say functions, remember functions and signatures. So for this case, if the result is longer than 140 characters, it must return false. And so yeah, we're going to use strlen. So let's write that there, strlen. strlen is the function we want to use. So the strlen will return an int, and then it takes in a string. So it takes in a string. So that's this is the signature for strlen. And the reason why it's a good practice to always write out the signature when you're practicing is that it makes you accurate with the functions in PHP. Put it and everything gets it. So I'll proceed with it. So let me take care of this next condition. So if strlen is greater than strlen is greater than 140, it's longer than, which is greater than 140, then return false. Then we're taking care of that one. So all words must have their first letter capitalized. So in this case, we're going to use the function. We're going to use the function useWords. So we're going to use the function useWords. So useWords The UC was a function to capitalize the first letter of each word in a sentence or in a string. So UC words will return a string, and they will take in these words. It will take in a string. So UC words will take in a string, and it has an optional parameter which is a delimiter. So you can also take a delimiter, but what we're interested in is just the first one. So let's just put it there. So let's just say string delimiter. So let's just leave it there. Okay, so what we want to do is to capitalize the first words. By default, the delimiter is in the UC words. By default, the delimiter is a space. So we're working with the default. So to proceed with that, it says str equals UC words str. Okay, I'm done with that. We'll capitalize the first. I've applied these words which capitalize the first character of each word. So the next thing we need to do is all words must have their first letter capitalized. So we have achieved this. The next thing is it must contain an hashtag. So it must start with a hashtag. So now let's ensure it starts with an hashtag. To do that, we're going to do this. So we'll need the function. We'll need sub str function, and we're going to need str content. Sub str. This is the signature for the sub str. So sub str we return a string and we return a string, or it will return false. So it's going to take in a string, then it's going to take in an int, then which is the start position. Then you're going to take in an int again, which is the length of the length. So that's the signature for sub str. Then the next one is str content. So it's going to take in so it is going to return a string. This is going to return a boolean. Then it's going to take in a string. Then it's going to take a string again. Then take in a list, which is what you're actually looking for. Don't find. So for this now we're going to say. So we need to check if it started with an hashtag already. So we're going to say if str contains sub str, then we take in the string str, and then we'll take in the start, which is we'll start at 0, then the length is 1. If str then if that contains an hashtag, then we're going to if it doesn't contain an hashtag, then we're going to append. So we're going to say str equals. So with this now we actually checked say it must contain an hashtag. Okay. So the next thing is to remove space from the string. So we're going to use a str replace. So let me write that the signature for str replace. So str replace. So it returns a string, which is this replace string. Then it takes in a mist, which is what you want to find. So let's say find, and it takes in a mist again, which you want to replace. So let's call it replace, and it takes in a string. So which is the bottom, or which is let's leave it as a string, which is actually the string you done. So here now, what we need to do is to return str replace. So we're going to replace our string. Replace. We're going to replace. We're going to look for space, and we're going to replace it with empty string, and we're going to str. So that's it. So this is the function we have written in, so we can decide now to test it. So let's see how it plays out. So I'll come back here. I'll grab this. So let me grab this first. Let's grab this condition and see. So I'm going to say echo this. The name of my function is the same thing that we're going to echo that. So I'm going to do this. I believe you returned false. You didn't write anything there. So but the next condition is this. Let's say if we pass same thing, similar thing, that should be false. Let's check out this. Okay, it's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be here. That's good. And the next, let's test this one out. Let's see. Let's see what better. Okay, so okay, let's this. So let's test this one out. We didn't get anything. What are we expecting here? We're actually expecting Cold War, Cold War from here. So what's going wrong? Okay, so we have 140. So we have str repeat 140. So in this test, I can see that they still want us to return. Cold War, regardless of the fact that the string is longer than 140, because they repeated the space 140 times plus the code. So going with these, we need to adjust our solution a bit. So we're going to we're going to remove the space first. We're going to remove let's remove the space here before we check for. Let's bring this one up. Then let's remove the space. So I'm going to remove So let's replace it. I'm going to do this first. So I'm going to say str equals str replace. So here I'm going to return str. Okay. Okay, so let's test the code again. Yeah, code wall. We got it. Alright, so at this point, we'll bring in our solution. So at this point, we'll take our solution to the test environment, to the editor, to test and see. So let's put it here. So let's put it here and test. Let's see if there's anything wrong with our solution. Okay, right now we have still another issues. Say okay. It's identical to false. Okay, say hashtag is identical to false. So I want to see the test that it actually failed. Because right here we have two tests where false, where an empty string was passed in. One here, then this one space was passed in. So let me find out what exactly is the issue. So I'm going to say echo zero. So okay, so I can see that the string is actually, the log is actually very long. So I believe what was passed in was this second empty string repeated 200 times. So that makes it relevant. So if I want to solve the problem, let me look at my code. Okay, so here is where I check if the length is greater than 140. So what happens is that I already replaced the space, so which reduces it to nothing. Then it passes, then it returns then it just go ahead and returns the hash, which is this. So you go ahead to this. So what we need to do here is we need to find a way to check if the string is an empty string. So, and this is the line that checks for that. So I'm going to bring that here. We're going to bring this one downward after this. So check here if it's an empty string. That's what we need to do. So let's test it. Okay, let's see. Say failed too long, failed asserting that it is illegal false. So now we're failed to assert that this, which is this test here. Yeah, this test here is identical false. Okay, look at it there. Okay, so this is the test we're actually looking at right now. It says, what governs it? Let's look at the instruction. It says that if the final result is longer than 140, if the final result is longer than 140, it must return false. So if the final result, so let's implement that. So we're going to just so I'll bring this one downward again. So the final result. So this one will come down. So test it. Voila, I've passed all the tests. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much.